Morning, morning, oh lovely ones. We got bombed today. But uh, Winston Churchill once said, "This too shall pass," or according to the Belize people, "This too shall become normal." But today's video is devil fruit power will never conquer the world. Only Haki would. I bet 60% of you will have no idea what I'm talking about. Out of the 40%, only half of them will truly understand, and the other half will be familiar with what I'm talking about. But it's from an anime series called One Piece. One Piece, if you guys don't know, I've been following since 2006. This is from the manga. This is a crucial moment where kind of like the antagonist and the protagonist were established, right? Like the actual person that's going to be doing exactly the opposite of what the lead. There's no hero. There's a lead in the story, and there's somebody that's kind of like doing the same thing, having the same vision and ambition, but doing it in a completely different way. This as well is from One Piece, by the way. It's written English, but in Japanese. I remember when I actually got the tattoo in 2014. It's the first episode of One Piece. I went all the way to like the embassy and I tried to find a way to speak to their translator in order to make sure my English translation to the actual words, because I was translating from Japanese to kind of like English language. Back then, I didn't know katakana or hiragana. I did not really know how to like read Japanese or like decipher it. So I basically just played it by ear. I kept playing the same part of the episode over and over again until finally kind of like got it right. And I went to the guy, to the translator, official translator to the embassy, and gave me the thumbs up, got the tattoo. But forgetting what the tattoo says. Going back to the actual video. Devil fruit power will never conquer the world, only Haki would. Now, in the world of One Piece, there's this apparently the devil. I don't know if when he died or for some reason split his powers across the world. And those powers were basically delivered in the form of fruit, mythical fruits. And each fruit kind of like holds a unique attribute of kind of like, I don't know. They're called devil powers because you can't have more than one. Because the two demons inside the fruit will fight each other and you'll die. And it's because they curse you. Because the minute you eat the devil fruit, you'll basically you'll not be able to swim anymore. So the idea is you become a rock once you hit the ocean, once you touch water, and that ends up basically like in a world where 90 something percent of it is just pure ocean. That's basically I don't know. Like a devil fruit power is kind of like the most counterintuitive thing to have because you're always on the sea, right? There's always a worst case scenario right like right at the edge of your fucking ship. But it's fun to kind of like imagine what your power could look like. I actually spent a lot of time when I was like maybe 20 something, just thinking about these things. Like if you had a superpower, what would it look like? Going back to this, yeah. So a devil fruit power will never conquer the world, and this was a statement made by a guy that has a very strong devil fruit power, very strong. It's like it's a mythical devil fruit power, and it's an animal type, so it's a dragon. And that guy, regardless of the strength of his devil fruit power, his true strength lies with his haki, will slash spirit. And that's something I dive deep into. Like I've written many notes about haki, like and what it truly means. And that sometimes it kind of means ambition, sometimes it means spirit, and sometimes it's referred to as ambition. Sometimes it's referred to as spirit, and sometimes it's referred to as will. And Haki is the strength of your spirit, your determination, your kind of like intention behind shit, right? Ambition is basically like, why the fuck are you doing what you're doing? And there's a relationship between them, right? Because like, if I'm expressing Haki because I don't want to do something, there's a lot more, I guess, intention. If I'm expressing basically like, Haki while doing something, I'm kind of like, okay, if I'm expressing Haki when I don't want to do something, or when I want to do something, it's kind of intention, right? Or it's kind of just, uh, fuck, it's either spirit, it's either ambition, or it's will, which is intention. So it's will slash intention. If I'm doing it while I'm actually like, while doing something, if I'm expressing kind of like energy while doing something, that's kind of like spirit. Again, it's a samurai thing, right? Because they're like, when you're attack with spirit, like attack with the energy. It reminded me of a quote from Bleach, which is, when you're defending, defend to protect. When you're attacking, attack to kill and destroy. When you're avoiding, avoid in order to survive, basically. And the difference between avoid to survive versus avoid not to be killed. Attack to basically destroy versus attack to kind of like, to to scare. Like that's the actual like, will behind it. And ultimately, if you're doing something and you're doing something with kind of like not an end result in mind, but a vision of what gets created, then it's an ambition kind of thing. And all of them are kind of like the same energy in different stages of your approach. Super interesting now that I speak about it this way. Because at the beginning, you're kind of like intention, the same energy changes meaning in accordance to not the task, but really it's kind of like the expression. It expresses itself throughout, right? Because like I start with an intention to do something, I move within that intention, which kind of like is the spirit of my movement, and I'm moving towards something, which is the ambition. And all of these kind of like require this energy to be seen from a different angle. Super interesting. Very much a super interesting approach. I want to write it somewhere. Fuck no. All these copybooks. Here's one. Brand new. It's, I think it's 7, I'm not sure. There's intention, will, spirit, and ambition. Start, while, for. Alright. I don't know. I'll get back to it at some other time. But the guy makes a statement. He goes like, "Devil fruit powers never ruled the world," and the idea behind it is the fact that you are given that power, but it's not really your power. You're borrowing a power from the devil, right? In the form of like you eating a fruit, and then suddenly you have that power for life. It's fine, but it's never yours. It never came from you. So somebody who has a stronger will always beat the devil, right? There's that kind of like mythology behind it. And it doesn't matter what the power is. If you have a will, and they express basically Haki in the series, where there are 3 types of Haki. You get to perceive something that's going to happen, or perceive the other person. It's more empathy kind of thing. It's like the intention behind it, right? Or you get to kind of like protect yourself using Haki, which is basically like you cover your body. So if somebody's trying to like hit you or burn you or something, you kind of like exude your Haki, and then it covers you, and then you're protected. somebody's trying to hit you or beat you or something, like your body kind of like solidifies. And the last one is you emit Haki, where basically the people are on the receiving end of your energy. If you kind of like punch, you're not just punching physically, you're punching and you're giving them some of that energy. So it kind of like destroys them from the inside or makes them faint or shit like this. Super intense and amazing. But like it all goes down to those kind of like, the whole uh, borrowed power, because once you die, the devil fruit, the devil's power would like reincarnate in a different fruit and somebody else would eat it. But your own Haki will not reincarnate. Your will could be transferred to other people. Your vision could be transferred to other people. Your ambition could be transferred to other people. Yes, but your own energy doesn't really, does it? Yes, there's a difference between like the power that you're borrowing, somebody else will borrow it, or your will being basically translated and explored by others, absorbed, inherited, and they actually use that in the actual series. It's inherited will, and that inherited will grows to become like personal Haki when it comes to people. I don't know. It's fun to actually have these conversations personally, because the philosophies, even though they're kind of like it's cartoonish animation thing, the deeper like underlying why did the guy decide to kind of like do that kind of story, not something else, is more of the how do you live your life and why and what do you relate to. It's an archetype thing. It's Carl Jung in the making. Anyways, beautiful video, and I fucking loved it at 5:30, 4:30 in the morning after receiving a few bombs from our neighbors. Peace out. I love you guys.